Coming to you live from the Parkview Room in District 4. Welcome to the IT All-Staff meeting. Now, put your hands together for the man who puts the O in Oakland, George Akiyama.
Wow. You know, we all know Golden State crushed it. You guys crushed that too. That's freaking awesome. I love it. Speaking of Golden State, how many of you guys watched the game? Hopefully a lot of folks at home in the room. Did you guys check out that game? Yes. All right. 3-0. Can't go on. You know, I was hearing a lot of, in yesterday's meeting, I was hearing a lot of 2-1, maybe a couple of 3-0s. So certainly Golden State had a great night. And, I hope that we have a great event today, too. This is our IT quarterly meeting. It's an opportunity for us to connect, with everybody certainly here in Oakland, as well as with the folks at home. So just a reminder, we've got the Ask George line open. Send your questions in, and we'll try to get them at the end of the meeting in our Q&A session. If we don't get to them in the Q&A session, everybody who sends an email is going to get some kind of response. So we're going to keep that line open. Samuel, if we hooked up the PayPal, the donation part of that yet? No? All right. We're going to get to that. Yeah, we'll take the questions, but the answers cost money. Well, here we are in beautiful Oakland, and we're going to change up a little bit. Normally we have somebody from the district, but luckily enough today, I wanted to share and spend a little more time with our two new executives in IT. So we've got two new CAs, one over application development. That's Saeed Bakshi. Come on up. And we also have Luck Su. Come on up, Luck. Luck runs our PMO and our IT admin. I got to tell you, I love your name. I wish I had a cool name. Well, I've got the boring George name, right? So both of you guys, Saeed and Luck, very cool names. I think I'm very envious. So let me start with that.
Very cool, but it wasn't growing up.
It wasn't really? Really? No way. I would thought it'd be cool.
Think of all the jokes. Come on.
I can't. Can you share some?
No.
All right. Fair enough. Saeed, so how long have you been here now?
I've been with state agencies almost for 30 plus years. Oh. I came from water resources, CalPERS. I share some of my knowledge about CalPERS and retirement with our
good.
folks here.
Don't share too much of that. We want these guys to stay, all right?
I bet.
They got to work till 70.
I bet.
All right.
And also, I joined from Legislative Council. I work with those, those guys that very hard to work with them. It was a very great experience. We had a lot of success in an IT for legislators and both sides in the Senate and Assembly.
Yeah, certainly. Those guys are very demanding customers,
very demanding,
right? And they're not very tolerant.
Yes.
I think when systems go down and so forth.
They are not happy camper if there's something that's not available for them because they have a term limit. You know that. They want it right now. So that's the attitude there.
Very good. So if we get stuck, like in a budget request or something, can you help us out? Can you call somebody and call them some favors?
I know some folks in the Rules Committee but don't listen to me anymore.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us. That's all we know. No, I appreciate that. And Luck.
Yes.
All right. So I thought Saeed was new. How new are you?
5 weeks.
5 whole weeks. So I like how you said that. You didn't say like a 1 month or, you tried. I'm surprised you didn't say like days. You could have made the numbers sound a lot bigger.
5 weeks, and I'm happy to be here, guys.
All right, and where are you coming from? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Sacramento native. I actually started my career in IBM in the consulting side of the house. The traveling got a bit too much, so I eventually found my way to join the state family. So.
All right.
And before here, I was actually over at Department of Technology in the project delivery division.
Wow, CDT, but the IBM stuff. Were you working in Sacramento then when you worked for IBM? Or?
No, in San Francisco and Market Street.
Oh, wow. That's certainly a great environment. So,
long commute, though. I was in Sacramento.
Oh, you were still in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be a tough drive. But was that back in the day? Was the traffic better? Or do you think, around what year was that?
That was in the 90s.
The 90s.
So.
Okay, all right. So traffic was probably still tough, but hopefully not as tough.
Traffic's always tough, though.
Traffic's always tough. All right. And in CDT, or California Department of Technology,
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that role?
Yeah, so I was a section chief in their oversight area, so I was very fortunate to be assigned the transportation portfolio as well as the correction portfolio. So I had to go out to the various correctional facilities, check out on their implementation in their institutes, and also last year I spent a lot of time at DMV to help them move forward with some of their business initiatives.
I got to tell you, the DMV folks were very sad that you left CDT, but they're happy to see you in transportation.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you. All right, as typical, we're going to do a quiz here, and we're in Oakland, so we're going to do Raiders versus Raiders. All right, you guys. So, Saeed, do you follow sports at all?
Oh, I love sports. How about last night, huh? Warriors, all the way. But I'm also a football fan. I mean, I have to confess I'm a Niners fan. Hey, Raiders is our brothers too, right?
All right.
We have a bridge between us.
You lost all the points for like the last night thing when you said Niners fan. Are you a movie buff? Do you watch?
I do a little bit, yes.
A little bit?
Yes.
All right. And Luck, you're wearing black. You've got to be a huge Raiders fan.
No.
Not a Raiders fan. But you're a huge movie fan.
Cartoon. I have a 2-year-old son.
All right.
Can we phone a friend for this con?
Go ahead. Yeah, can you bring him in? Wow. So not a sports person and not a movie. Oh, the odds aren't looking good for those folks at home.
I'll surprise you, though.
All right. Well, you got a 50-50 chance.
That's right.
Right, so that's huge. So I know you guys haven't played this game before, but basically I'm going to ask a question, and you hold up the sign, whether it's Raiders or Raiders, and Luck, this is the sports side here, just so you...
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Just trying to help you out.
Wait, you didn't let me phone a friend yet.
All right. We'll get that going. No, cell phone's off. No. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
The first question, it all began in 1981. So do you think it's Oakland Raiders or Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I go with the big hat here.
The big hat. You're right. It's the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So you guys... Sam, can you keep score for me? Because actually, I'm not good at catching that. All right, very good. You guys are correct. Raiders of the Lost Ark, June 12th, 1981. Any idea when the Oakland Raiders began playing in Oakland?
Oh, God, that's a tough question. Probably, well, I'm not the 50s, but 60s maybe, or 50s around.
Luck, any idea?
I'm going to phone my Raiders fan. Who's a Raiders fan here? Come on.
Any idea?
The 60s.
Yep, you're very good. Yeah, it is the 60s. Wow, you are pandering to the audience. Oh, I like your style, Luck. You're really working them. Oakland Raiders began playing in Oakland in 1960 and awarded a former Minneapolis franchise. So they traveled all that way, and they've been here for quite some time. We'll find out a little more in a follow-up question. Next question. Are you ready?
Yep.
Snake, ghost, assassin. Snake, ghost, assassin. What do you guys think? Raiders of the Lost Ark or Raiders? Oakland
I
Raiders?
go with, well, maybe Raiders.
Maybe Raiders? So, Luck, what do you think? There were snakes in that movie.
Weren't there? Come on. Look at
he's
how
got he's kind of...
Isn't he a snake wrangler?
Yeah. I don't know if that's an official job.
Oh.
I don't know. A snake wrangler. What do you guys think here? Raiders. God, see, we're in Oakland. We're in O-Town right here. You're right. Oakland Raiders players nicknames Snake, Ken Stabler, Ghost, Dave Casper, and Assassin, Jack Tatum. All very friendly Oakland kind of terms, right? That's the two. I also want to say, as you kind of foretold, in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Well of Souls scene required 7,000 snakes. Wow. And remember, that character was really scared of snakes. The bulk of the snakes were giant, harmless lizards. So who knew? So I feel a little more comfortable watching that show now.
That's great.
All right. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Sam, what's the score? I'm testing you now.
It's 2-2.
2-2. All right. Wow. That's funny because I've only asked 3 questions. All right. The black hole, it's not where the scores went. No, the black hole, what do you guys think? Raiders or Raiders?
Black hole.
Black hole. Wow, Luck got there first. Raiders of the Lost Ark, really? How do you figure?
Well, I remember watching the movie way back. Uh-huh. There's a lot of excitement and adventure. So I'm sure there's a lot of...
There's a black hole in there somewhere?
Me, yeah.
No? Okay, Saeed. Oakland Raiders fan section. right? We're talking about the Raider Nation. Is Just Win Baby, right? Is considered the best fan base of any professional sports team. It even has its own Facebook page. So obviously Raider Nation, huge fan base, right? I see a lot of black in this audience, actually. And they do a great job. They really support their teams.
That's great.
So, well done. I think Luck got that one, huh?
So Sam is still your 2-2, right?
Is it still 2-2? It's still 2-2. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Sam. You're killing it, man. You were just killing it. All right, I love this phrase. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Where did that come from? Oakland Raiders or Raiders? You guys are a little deep in thought. Luck, you look seriously deep in thought.
This is a serious question.
This is a serious question.
I go with the
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
this guy, yeah.
All right. It is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones to Marion answering a crack about his age. Oh, that hurts now. It didn't hurt me like 10 years ago, but it really hurts now. And speaking of mileage, did you guys know, you guys probably knew, John Madden, did he fly much? Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Nope. Not at all. Former Oakland Raiders head coach John Madden is afraid to fly and takes a luxury coach instead. So talk about mileage. Luck, you run our budget. Is there any way we can work something out with some kind of luxury?
We're going to make it work.
We're going to make it work?
There's
All right.
not even security, BCP, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Carl's got some money, security BCP. We'll get it from Carl. All right. Next question. The hat stays on. The hat stays. A little hint, look at the picture.
Yeah.
All right, well, these guys are quick. That's already hard, right? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones never loses his hat in the movie. When the hat was made, the brim was shaped to cover his eyes for protection and help hide the faces when stunt doubles were used. Indiana Jones' hat and jacket are on display in the Smithsonian. So stunt doubles, I kind of like that. This is kind of dangerous up here. I feel, like we need a stunt double. Mike?
Yeah.
No. You'll get that joke later once you see what he's wearing. All right. Next question. Average ticket price in 1981 was $15.
Probably the Raiders.
Wow, look at you guys are
Yeah.
catching on. Samuel, what do you think? Did they get it right? Yeah. 4-3? Okay, out of 8 questions. So, Oakland Raiders, the average ticket price for the Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981 was $2.78. Do you remember when it was only a couple bucks to go see a movie?
Yeah.
Now, I must admit, I'm going to like $5 Tuesdays for movies, right, to catch that deal, because otherwise, by the time I get that popcorn, I'm taking out a mortgage. Today's average price ticket, any idea what the average price is?
Probably 100 above.
100 above?
Yeah.
The answer's right there.
$71.
71.
That's right.
So you have to buy popcorn, sodas. I mean, you add it up, right?
Yeah, I only drink soda at Raiders games. You're right, Saeed. You're right. All right. The staff of Ra. You guys remember that? What is the staff of Ra? Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Probably Raiders.
Raiders?
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of sports, man? Is that what you're saying, Saeed? The staff of Ra is the key finding in the Soul of Wells, where the Ark of the Covenant was buried. Here's the question. Are the Raiders after any kind of trophy or award? And if so, what is that trophy called?
Lombardi Trophy,
Lombardi Trophy. Yeah. How many years has it been? I'm just trivia. I don't know the answer to this one. You guys know? Has it been a while? All right. Do you know, Sammy? Were you there, man?
89.
89. All right. Ron, can you fact check Sam? I just want to check. All right. All right. Next question, and this again kind of hits close to the heart. The grand old man. All right. What do you guys think that comes from? The grand old man.
I think Raiders.
Raiders? All right. And Raiders, wow. Because he looks old in the picture? Is that where you're going, Luck? Is that? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. You're in a whole millennial? Is that? No. Former Raider George Blanda played for the Bears, Colts, Oilers, and the Raiders. This is interesting. The oldest player to play in an NFL game was 48 years, 109 days. 48 years. Spent a record of 26 seasons in the NFL. So some of you folks got a shot. If you're under that, you still got a shot. All right? I think this is the last question.
So Sam, still 2-2, right?
Still two. I like how you're playing along. You're getting the hang of this, Saeed. That's cool. All right, Vegas, baby. What do you think? What do you think that could mean?
I think Raiders. They're going to
Raiders
move
for sure.
through, yeah.
Lachlan, why are you saying Raiders?
I watched the news. They announced
You
it.
watch it? All right. Well, all right. So no sports, cartoons, and news. That's what you focus on.
That's it.
All right. I totally got it. You're both right. In 2017, NFL owners agreed to allow the Oakland Raiders to relocate to Vegas for the 2020 season. You're a huge fan, Samuel? You going to move out there?
No.
You're going to? All right. Just checking. The Raiders have played 45 seasons in Oakland. So that's got to be the total, probably, because they moved down to L.A. for a little bit, right? All right, now, Samuel, I got to ask you, who won? What's the count?
Since both of them are not a Raider fan, it's 5-5.
5. Well, there you go. So you guys are both winners.
Yay!
So I appreciate that. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys have heard me talk about Samuel, but let's call him up so you guys can see the face that goes with the name. Samuel, how you doing? I got to tell you, I've never had a guest with so much swagger. All right, so the way you kind of walked up, and the color shirt is so appropriate for you, right?
No, thank you.
Because you're the man who's always cutting deals, and I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but the reality is, I think you've got exceedingly strong partnerships with the program areas, and you're able to pull off the impossible, to help fund the IT program. I truly appreciate all of those efforts, and Samuel kind of shows that off all the time, because we rolled in yesterday, and we were checking into one of the hotels, and as we drove past the graffiti, and we rolled up to the locked gate for the hotel, right, and it had like 3 cars in it, literally. Some of the division chiefs were like, "Oh, are we staying here?" Right? And we badged in. We went up to the counter. In some way, we're lucky. We couldn't get the rooms; they weren't ready. And so we come up to D4, and we're bemoaning our situation. And Samuel says, "No problem." So I want to say within the course of 10 minutes, right, you had them canceled out of that hotel and into a much nicer accommodation. And I was blown away. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a lesson for not checking with the locals.
Oh man! Here, I'm giving you a prop. All right. But it's really remarkable, and it didn't end there. Later on, we wanted to see the game in the evening. We couldn't find any parking, and Sam was all, "I know the valet," so naturally we were able to get parking. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But what I really want to hear about is what are all the great things that are happening here in D4? Can you tell me? I've heard some devil thing or something.
Devil slides.
Devil slides. All right. Is that a new happy hour hamburger slide thing or something? Or?
No, that's a double burger.
That's all right. That's a different thing. All right. Very good.
No, Devil Slide is a project, one of the projects in the last 10 years that the district completed. There was a road that right under the mountain on the 101 side. Rocks and mudslides were coming down on the road and affecting traffic. So they make a hole into the mountain and create a tunnel. So the travelers now, it's really nice and safe for them to travel during winters. We had the Main Bay Bridge project that was completed, yes. The Park Presidio project in San Francisco. And the Boer project on the Calcutta Tunnel is also completed. So the major construction project is over. Now it's more maintenance and operation in bringing in new technology, LiDAR and others to really improve traffic safety and congestion.
Yeah, fantastic. The Bay Area is so congested, and we all hear about these situations. And I really appreciate D4 pushing forward on a lot of ITS activities. And you mentioned the Bay Bridge. That's going to be a testament to mankind and the ability to develop and engineer something that's certainly world class. They used a lot of technology on that bridge that I think folks haven't seen before in their design. So
you went on the bridge, George.
I did. I know. I know a little bit about it. You got me on 2 tours, which I appreciate. So we learned a lot about the Bay Bridge, and I got to tell you, it's a testament to everything that everybody does here in D4. So I appreciate that. But in addition to the program area, you're doing some really cool stuff in IT as well.
Yeah, in IT, that with the leadership of Mike and you, we got a little fund to upgrade our computer room. So we're able to replace our HVACs, and then we're also able to replace our UPS.
Okay.
And then we're finalizing our fire suppression system. So.
All right. When do you
Yes,
think the fire suppression?
We expect to complete that in June this month.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
coming up really fast.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, you've got a immaculate server room. I really appreciate everything you've done to that to keep it modern and up to date and robust. Certainly an area that we could put a lot more technology in as well. So I'm looking forward to that in the future.
So the team did a lot of hard work in there. So
Well,
they get all the credit for that.
All right. Speaking of the team, we got a little team video, I think, of two of your guys, right?
Yes, Paul and Will did the video. So
All right.
let's go ahead and see it.
Let's take it away.
Will? You know, like I said, Batman always has Robin, you know.
You know, Sammy, what work were they doing up there?
I don't know what work were you guys. No, they were in the MCO on the 5th floor, patching and moving. I don't know how it works with other districts, but in our district we don't have contract or contractors. These two guys move all the lines and the phones. So.
All right, fantastic.
in-house, yeah.
Do you guys mind coming up? Because they want to know that you've got real folks too. Come on up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, appearing in the video, and I appreciate your candor and your honesty. And you clarified a couple things for me, which I love. So, Batman and Robin, right? I heard I don't love the guy, so that kind of clarified the whole Batman Robin relationship for me. Is there anything you guys want to say to the folks at home? And I know I've called you up impromptu, so. You got to keep it clean. I'm a family show. Family show.
Yeah. Get rid of your phones.
That's hilarious.
Get rid of
All
them.
right, take that all away. But, well, Will, you're a super driver. I've ridden with you twice. How many miles do you drive?
Daily?
Yes,
About 200 miles.
200 miles a
Yeah.
day. So
That's just coming to work. That's not going out in the field.
yeah.
It's a little longer. Usually when we go together, he's my navigator.
Yep.
He usually
Cool.
takes me on the wrong way. So that's the fun we have. It's just getting it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, that makes me feel real good. You guys are out there driving on. But Paul, you drive a bunch of miles too, right?
Right, yeah.
How many miles do you drive a day?
I commute 220 a day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour commute each way. Yeah.
Wow. I'll give Carl a hard time later. I don't think he drives 200 miles a month. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. But thanks again. We really had a good time with those videos, and I appreciate you guys coming up and saying hello.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You bet. Thank you, Sam. All right. I hope that gave you a good feel, right, for what D4 life is like, and especially the collaboration. I love that, and I appreciate you guys willing to come up and just say hi to the folks at home. Now we normally talk about what's going on. Certainly I'll lead off and then we'll bring up the division chiefs to talk about the particular areas. But for me, there's three things I want to talk about. And some of this is actually hot off the presses. We just got this information last week, literally. And so you're hearing it at the same time, in some way, the soups and managers are. So I apologize to the soups and managers, but I want to talk at least at a high level about this. We just got our 2017 employee survey results last week. And there's a funny story. They're going to go out with the survey by the end of June for 2018. So we just got the survey results last week. But even though we just got them recently, there's already some actions division chiefs and I have already talked about taking right out of the gate. One of them is training dollars. So we've seen training dollars steadily increase year over year. And we're going to continue to see that trend in next year as well. Some organizations are very good at spending all of those dollars. I know Daniel Peck in D6 always hits me up for more dollars. And so, those dollars will be available. We're going to try to get folks, that training. And I'll talk a little bit later about equipment to make sure you can do the jobs, right, that you have. And also you can do the next job. Another thing we saw in the survey was use of formal recognition programs. I think most organizations do a good job with the informal. Hopefully the pat on the back, the team luncheons, right, those project celebrations. But we need to make more use of some of the superior accomplishment awards and those types of things. So you're going to see a concerted effort towards that as well. The last thing I want to talk about is an innovation program. The Enterprise Innovation Program kicked off or had some events over the last couple of years. We've talked to the folks who host that in the Enterprise Strategic and Risk Management Program, and we're going to do our own innovation programs. What does that mean? Probably August, September time, we're working with them now. You're going to see some programs come out to say, what are your ideas, right? We're going to crowdsource. Not all the best ideas, certainly, come from the executives or come from headquarters. They come from all over, and we really want to hear from you what you think we could be doing better. So sometime in August, September timeframe, we hope to get that innovation campaign kicked off. As part of the survey, we want to make sure you guys feel like you've got a voice. And so we're very excited about that. I'm also excited about that. There's this talk about having like an innovation bank, right? So you've got a lot of great go-to ideas. So you should always have that bank full. So as you get a little more funding or you get a little more time, you just go to the bank, right, and you take out a great idea and you make it actionable. So I'm excited about that coming out. The second thing I want to talk about is employee reviews or employee evaluations. Within IT, we've mandated 100% employee evaluations by June 30. So if you haven't had your discussion with your super manager, you should be having it by June 30. And, employee evaluations is a critical part to make sure, again, right, folks know what's expected of them and how to move up the ladder. It's also that time for that open and honest feedback, and I know that conversation can be difficult, but it's how we all get better. I know I give the DCs a lot of open and honest feedback throughout the year, and it shouldn't be just the one time, right? I mean, there should be that communication throughout. It's a best practice, and it's really how we connect. The last thing I want to talk about is we set aside some money for desktops, laptops, and iPhones. We did a refresh. Certainly we got 12 mil for a hardware refresh of the back-end stuff, but this year we're able to refresh about $350K in desktops, laptops, and cell phones. Now, unlike Indiana Jones, who said it's the mileage, not the age, this time it really was the age. So we looked at the oldest equipment and we refreshed that. We're going to build that into our lifecycle program to make sure that every year we're going to refresh a certain portion, right, of all that equipment. And again, that's in hopes of ensuring you folks have got the right, the training, the right equipment to get your jobs done and be successful. So those are some of the things that's going on, certainly, and you're going to hear more, especially about the employee survey as we develop more programs around greater engagement. This is an effort for engagement. But, if you have any ideas, the Ask George line is up as well, so you can use that. That's up all the time. Or as we get into the innovation campaign, please, we want to hear from you. I know you guys have got great ideas. All right, speaking of great ideas, Carl. How you doing, Carl?
Great.
Now, you got here, you took like the full Oakland experience on the way in from Sacramento, didn't you?
I did. I was a stowaway on a van.
On
Will's
van? They let you sit up front?
They let me sit up front.
All right.
I wasn't in a bag in the back or anything.
Well, you know, security, I'd want you where I can see you. I wouldn't want you in the back either. So, you know, that was a pretty smart move. But, you know, being in the front of things, you know, what's going on in security? What are you getting out in front of?
Hey, thanks, George, for that introduction, and great to be here. Thanks everybody for having me. It's always a great opportunity to speak to everyone about security. Of course, one of my favorite topics. First off, let's talk about our rollout of the YubiKeys, and we are acronym heavy in IT, right? So even IT is an acronym. The virtual private network YubiKeys have been rolled out, and all the districts, you all should have them, and you should be helping us to start to roll them out, especially to the executive folks. The exec board meeting's coming up in 2 weeks, and when I get to them, please help me out, make sure that they've got their token. It's just a common industry best practice to have multi-factor authentication when you're remote to the network in order to physically get on the network, so to speak, something other than just your password. Next thing to talk about is the McAfee upgrade project, and a big thank you to desktop support and service desk when we make mistakes for helping us out with this project. We're well over 90%. We're at 99% for some of the agent deployment. For the rollout across the districts. I really appreciate your help. We need to keep going, but this was the heavy lift to get to the major version. You know how that works, where you often get to the major version through a lot of manual and interactive work, and then you can start to do more automated things. That's the case with this upgrade, and we're looking at how we can, in the future, start to do more automated rollout for upgrades the next go-around. So thanks again for your help on that. Cybersecurity awareness training, maybe by show of hands in the room, how many of you feel like you advocate for cybersecurity in your job in one way or another? That's fantastic. I feel like everyone in IT, we should have our hand up. I couldn't see out there in the TV land. That's a big part of what we do is in IT is help people understand the risks in cybersecurity. I was talking with Doug about some of the work great work he's doing here in Oakland on that front. We have the annual requirement to provide awareness training to everyone. We're getting ready to roll that out. We did a rollout of it on the webpage, and already 300 people have taken it they found it. And I've been getting excellent feedback. And a tip for you this year, you can skip ahead if you want to and just go to the questions. So if you feel like doing that, like you feel like this is common sense or you already know it, you can challenge yourself, and if you get it wrong, a little bit more of the video will come up and help give you more background and more training. And finally, our security budget change proposal for where we've been and where we're going. So for this year, you've heard me say we got $4 million in 6 additional positions. We've filled the positions. We've expended the money. We're rolling out the tools. For this coming fiscal year, we are in the governor's proposed budget for $10 million and 4 additional positions for privacy modernization, so tools around e-discovery, litigation readiness, things attorneys need for better government transparency, and some additional cybersecurity tools and some what they call PCI compliance, which is the credit card industry, the payment card industry compliance. So that's what I got for you right now. All good things in security. Thanks for your help and advocacy.
Thanks. You know, I got a question for you, Professor Carl Copper. You know, you use the term BCP, and we've been throwing that out a lot, right? Because that's certainly been a big part of where we're spending our time. But what does that really mean, aside from budget change proposal? I mean, is that coming out of our baseline budget, or what is that BCP?
So, and I'm not a financial expert by any means, but having gone through the process a couple of times, my understanding is that Caltrans, it hadn't happened for more than a decade, more than 2 decades. But it's a process of submitting something to the legislature, Department of Finance, and the oversight groups like California Department of Technology saying, hey, we need some additional funding to get something done. And certainly in our case for cybersecurity, there's a huge need for a 20,000 user organization for additional funding to really move the needle for cybersecurity.
Yes, so it's nice to get that extra money on top of our allocated budget. And as you said, we've got to go to the legislature, Department of Finance, California Department of Technology. I don't know if Luck helps us with that or not, but we've got to go to all these different organizations and kind of pitch a need and hopefully be able to close. And it's tough to get through those guys. It takes a lot of meetings, right? Some of those organizations don't want to give up any dollars.
Yes, and I will say it takes experience navigating those waters, which for those of you who don't know, George is an expert at helping us get through those waters. So a lot of kudos and credit to you, George. Thank you.
Let me get my money out now. Thanks. So thank you so much. But yeah, I do appreciate everything that you've done, and I know for this year's hearings, you were teed up to kind of carry the flag for us, and I appreciate you being prepared for that. Thanks,
Great,
Carl.
thank you.
All right. I think the next update we have is infrastructure. And Mike, man, what's up with the outfit? Dude, come on.
We're twins.
Yeah, okay, which one's Danny DeVito? Right, that's what I want to know. All right. You're a little taller, so I'm not feeling good about that answer. You know, it's funny. I've got a tie that looks just like that. I don't know where that came from.
I think I visited your room this
My room,
morning and
let's not spread any rumors, man. Let's not go there. But you know, aside from rumors, I want to spread some good news, especially about the activities that you're doing in IMD.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Mike Nguyen. I'm in charge of the IT infrastructure for Caltrans. I'm very pleased to give you 3 updates today. First thing I want to talk about is the budget change proposal. And again, it's a mechanism for us to submit a written document to the Department of Finance to ask for either more positions and funding or a combination of both, right? So for the current year, just very similar to security, we were given $12 million, and we are finishing really, really strong. And we couldn't have done it without all of your help out there in the field, in the district, and at headquarters. $6 million were allocated for network refresh. $3 million were allocated for server refresh. And $3 million were also allocated for storage arrays refresh. And so we're finishing really strong. The last report that I got from Fred and Kamal, they are pretty much done with servers and storage array refresh. We needed additional components for networking, and we're going to be finishing this month because all of those additional components have been delivered by Cisco, and we need all your help to basically complete that. So thank you very much for all of your good work. On to the budget year, which is coming up in July. We also have success for our second year to request for additional funding. Unlike a very smooth security BCP request, we have some additional requirements that we need to satisfy before we can access our next $12 million of funds. The ask that we need to satisfy is from California Department of Technology, that we have to deliver what is called an application roadmap. So, Saeed, I'm going to be looking forward to collaborating with you and your staff and all the programs to ensure that we work with a vendor to put that roadmap together. The timeline for that is that we, as we speak, are working in writing what is called a request for proposal. Again, it's a document that will solicit bids from vendors that will come in to help us work with the divisions and the programs to develop that roadmap. In essence, that roadmap is what kind of applications are we going to have in the future, 5 to 10 years from now, and where will those applications will be hosted, whether they will be hosted on premises that belongs to Caltrans. Currently, we have lots of public-facing and mission-critical applications that are being hosted at the State Data Center? Will we continue to do the same, or will that be a hybrid where we'll put some into the cloud or our own cloud? So the roadmap will help us understand what we have and how we're going to rationalize our applications and determine whether they will be hosted in the future. Okay. So the timeline for that is the first quarter. We're going to be going out to bid to get the new vendor on board to help us with the roadmap. The roadmap is going to take probably 1 to 1.5 to 2 quarters to complete, and that will be in the spring. And hopefully by that time, we'll be able to write a request to finance to release the $12 million for us to begin the second phase of refreshing our equipment. In the meantime, Fred, Kamal, John Sweet, and their staff are going to be very busy working with all the districts and the staff and the management levels to look at the old and aging inventory of our equipment, come up with a decision as to what we're going to replace, how many we're going to replace, and where are they going to for the second phase of our refresh efforts. And then we're going to get into heavy negotiations with the manufacturers to give us steep discounts so that we would have more buying power, buying more and replace more of the aging equipment that we have based on the funds that will be given to us. Okay? And that will be happening in parallel with the roadmap development. So we see procurement for the next batches of hardware refresh will be happening in the third quarter of this coming fiscal year. That's somewhere going to be in March, April timeframe. And we'll be executing rapidly to make sure that all the money will be focused in spending, executing the procurement plan that we all will work together to put together. And again, this is not going to be our first rodeo. We're going to jump on top of this and start deploying the equipment, directly, just like we have, with the current year. Okay. Next, I'd like to talk about the network capacity planning and upgrade. As you may know, we have more than 700 sites throughout Caltrans that we have network, technology that will basically connect us, as one network. And some of these have been in place for a long time, decades, right? We have the backbone currently with connecting all of the major hub sites, which include the District 3 TMC, District 4, 7, and 8. We consider that those are the hub sites that connecting our backbone. The current capacity of those circuits right now is 1 gigabit per second. We have submitted Form 20s to the telco companies to request for them to provision the upgrade of these circuits from 1 to 10 gigabits per second. I want to thank George for supporting all of us in terms of funding to ensure that we purchase the latest equipment with the right interface cards to terminate those circuits, currently at 1 to 10 gigabits, within the next 6 months. So thank you, George. Without your support, we would not be able to retrofit and modernize our network to meet today's business and tomorrow's demands. On top of that, we're just not really upgrading the backbone. We're looking at all of the district office. Most of them are connecting to the backbone right now, anywhere between 200 to 300 megabits per second. We also have submitted Form 20s to the telco companies to upgrade all of those from their current capacity to 1 gigabit per second each, with redundancy, of course, in place. And the wonderful thing about this is that not only that we're increasing capacity for the district office to run their more robust applications today and as well as in the future, but we're doing it while maintaining cost neutrality. So we're taking advantage of all of these offerings from the telcos to do that, to really help advance the department. Lastly, I want to talk about mobile device management. You may know that we've been using Afaria from OTEC, as they've been hosting that solution to manage our mobile devices, iPhones, Androids, and tablets for a long time. But it has some shortcomings. It doesn't have the robustness and the granularity in terms of managing things like application deployment, giving our user access to our file systems and data and application from our file systems. So we were set out, on a course to search for a replacement about 14 or 15 months ago, and we POC what is now called AirWatch from VMware. Right, we've done several pilots with constructions and maintenance staff to ensure that their mobile employees' needs can be met, and we have satisfied all those requirements. We have stood up a dedicated environment for Caltrans in the VMware cloud, and we have, up to this point, we have enrolled more than 1,000 iPhones and iPads combined in this environment. So I want to shout out, many thanks to the ATRs that are out there helping us up to this point. Over the next 3 months, we'll be looking to you and your leadership and your availability to help us transition all of the existing devices. We have about 4,500 left in Afaria that need to make the journey from that old platform to AirWatch. So we hope to complete that by the end of this summer, somewhere in late September. And I want to thank you for your efforts, and we look forward to your help to basically make this migration. So that's all I have.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I got one question for you. When you talked about the network planning, you talked about this Form 20 and working with the telcos. What exactly is a Form 20?
That's an excellent question, George. Normally when we buy IT equipment or IT services, we have to submit a request for procurement, requisition. That has to go through DPAC, Department Procurement and Acquisition Group, right, in downtown Sacramento. So that's a normal procurement process for goods and services. But with the Form 20, because the state has in place what is called a CalNet contract, which has been pre-bid, pre-negotiated by the state with all kinds of telco vendors right out there, such as AT&T, Verizon, and so on. So they have a contract in place. With that contract in place, the telco can accept a Form 20. It's a one-pager, very simple, that we don't have to go out to bid and get 3 solicitations. We can submit our request directly to a telco company and say we need to establish a new circuit from point A to point B, or upgrade that circuit, from a meg to 10 megs, or 1 gig to 10 gigs, like we have done so.
Got it. And what's the form number on that?
Form 20.
All right, very good. All right.
All right.
Well, thanks, Mike.
All right.
Appreciate you clarifying that.
Thanks for
All right, Saeed. How you doing? I appreciate you not wearing a blazer, white shirt. And I got to tell you. Wow. And the other thing I want to say, if Rick Decker's out there, hey, 3 for 3 on ties, Rick. We did that just for you. Rick always gives us a hard time about not wearing ties. But you're new, Saeed, right?
Yes, I am.
How? Not 5 weeks, but certainly new. So you've had more runway, so you should be done with everything. No, not yet.
I'm a fast driver, but
You
I'm
are a
trying
fast
to be
driver.
fast.
All right. I want you to be a fast driver in
Yes.
AppDev too.
Yes.
Can you tell me what's going on in AppDev?
Sure, I'm glad to. Thank you very much, George. I'm glad to share some of those highlights that what we are after. Thank you so much, Mike. Talk about the roadmap, application roadmap. This is a very critical one. This is something that we have to look at our current state of our all enterprise application in Caltrans. There's a lot of old applications. There's a lot of redundant applications, right? Which is some of them even doesn't answer to today's business needs. So after that, we have to come up and define the future state of application architecture for Caltrans and make sure that that future is aligned with our infrastructures, with our securities, and also make sure that it meets the Caltrans strategic goals. It goes with meets the industry standards, okay? And also the most important thing is the trend of technology. All those Caltrans departmental initiatives like smart transportations, like corridor managements, right? And also all new technology we have has to come up with a plan with that. It's a very critical, it's a time consuming, it's something that the whole, everyone else to have to engage in it to make sure to have this document done on time so Mike gets that money that we needed right away, right? The second item is we are focusing on, which is very, again, time consuming, is a time frame we have. I don't know how many of you know about ADA. ADA stands for American Disability Act. Okay, it's a law, and it's a federal law, and also it's a legislative mandated law. It's still engaged now. Right now, we have it done. But you know what? The Caltrans public face or websites are not in compliance. So we have to make sure all our public face web applications are in compliance. And in order to do it, we have to work together. We have to come up with a governing policy about policy and procedures and plan. How are we going to manage this all public face websites, right? So we need those policy, and also we need a technology, what they call web content management systems. How we manage those public faces, right? The third thing is obviously is application development collaboration across the state. I am really looking for this. We know the technology trends is going fast, right? And so there's demands out there from our business and customer side. They need a solution right away. With the trend of technology going there, they need right away digitize stuff fast, okay? And we don't have enough resources or skill set. The only way is we have to work together, to collaborate with each other, helping each other, headquarters with all the districts, to come up together and how we can quickly come up with a solution for our customers. They need help, okay? And we can provide that help. And the only secret weapon is so far is collaborations. So I'm looking forward to reach out to all of you to talk about the challenges and how the business needs you have, how we can help each other and work together. And I thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Ayi. I'm so happy to have you here in the Caltrans family. And the one thing I got there I'm really excited about is that application collaboration. I know as of late we've done more collaboration. I think you've done some technology evaluations and you've had some of the districts up, but I think you're looking to be even more impactful.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that, and I can't wait to see the efforts we all can do together.
I'm really excited, George. I'm really excited. I'm sure there's a lot of talent, a lot of resources out there, everybody in other districts. So I'm reach out to them and say, okay, let's work together. And we are in a one IT solution, right? We're all one organization and helping each other. I'm here for it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. And last but definitely not least, Luxu, come on up. I want to thank you also for not wearing a blazer, a white shirt, and tan pants. So,
But I got my flashy white necklace.
You do have your flashy white. I almost wore the same one today, but.
We'll coordinate next time.
All right, we'll coordinate. We'll have to pass. Mine's red, though. I want it to be really flashy. So 5 weeks.
Yes, 5 exciting weeks so
Five
far.
exciting weeks. How was your
Yeah.
first week?
Jam-packed with meetings.
Jam-packed with meetings. I know. I think we really fill up your first week, day by day. I think it was
Minute by minute.
Minute by minute, really? Did you even get lunch the first week? Were you able to sneak that in?
I have snacks.
You've got snacks? All right, all right. I know, because you're kind of a healthy person, too. That's what I kind of sense. No? Yes?
I try to be.
All right, very good. That's not so much me, so I'll balance you out, all right? Because, I'm eating the pretzels and the other stuff, and you're going to bring the fruit, hopefully? No?
Hummus and fruits, yes.
Hummus and fruits, all right. Very good.
Those are my things.
Those are your things. Speaking of things, I was looking for a word there. Speaking of things, What things are you working on? I know you've got a lot going on in your organization, even just after a short 5-week period of time.
Yeah, we got a lot going on, so I'm happy to share and provide some updates today. And so to really focus the conversation on some of the process improvements that we've implemented. So I'm going to first talk about our Lean Six Sigma project that we focused on streamlining our IT intake process. For those of you who aren't familiar with Lean Six Sigma, it's really a continuous improvement methodology that's about simplifying the work and eliminating waste that do not add value. So a while ago, there was a call out soliciting ideas for Lean Six Sigma projects, and so we volunteered because we wanted to take that opportunity to really look at our intake process to see where we can improve. So oftentimes, our business partners program and our customers, they have a business needs that requires an IT solutions. They have an idea for an IT project. They would fill out the concept form and submit it to us. And then what happens? Crickets, right? We looked at some of the metrics, and historically, the assessment period from the time the concept form was completed, going through the process and having it routed to an approval board, that took upwards of 79 days. And there were instances that it took 197 days. So we definitely want to improve that. So by doing so, what we did was look at the process, identify some of those redundancies, eliminate those activities. We clarified roles and responsibilities, documented that. We also took a look at the intake form and simplified it. Just by implementing those minor changes, we were able to reduce the assessment period from 79 days to 25 days. That's a 68% improvement, so huge success there. The next process improvement that we focused on was procurement. Procurement is near and dear to everybody's heart. And we had to respond to the audits and investigations findings. So in response to that, some of the process improvement we implemented was really delineate and have a separation of roles and responsibilities between our acquisitions folks and our IT certification folks. And additionally, we embarked on a training campaign. We went out, met with all the District 20 IT procurement staff, and trained them on the procurement processes and showed them how to enter their solicitation package directly into the Advantage system. By doing so, we eliminated some of the bottlenecks of having everything funneled through to headquarters and relying on the limited procurement staff that I have to enter your package in the system for you. We also publish training materials and reference and guidelines on our purchasing website. Additionally, we have an email box, a link on our website, so that if you need support, you have questions, comments, drop us a line. We're here to help you. Additionally, to improve the communication and transparency, we also started distributing on a weekly status report, so that way you know exactly where your procurement package is. And of course, continuous improvement doesn't just happen overnight, and it's not a one-time deal. We'll continue to monitor and evaluate our process and make refinements along the way. So those are the latest updates, and as we make additional process improvements, I'll be happy to share with you. Lastly, we're launching an IT logo contest. If you guys notice across the board at Caltrans, all the various divisions, they have their own logo. Outside organizations, they have their own logo as a way to identify themselves and serve as their brand. We're missing that, so we're going to get there. Who are my creative people in the house? Who are my non-creative people in the house? Perfect, no hands raised, guys, or very little. This contest is for you guys. We're looking for that creativity. Partner up, do it yourself. It doesn't matter. We're just looking for submission. I strongly encourage all of you guys to submit your ideas. Of course, this is a contest. George, what are they going to win?
No. Wow. I've got the first logo. Can I enter this logo? That'll work. I think in some way we're going to leave it up to the winner. So what we're thinking of is maybe breakfast or lunch, for the team or the unit that comes up with the logo. I'll fly down, the division chiefs will fly down, whatever you want. So whoever comes up, well, I'm not going to say a car, right? But in terms of breakfast or lunch catered by myself and the IT division chiefs. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a lot of creative ideas. I know you guys have got them out there. I've seen some folks already develop some that were pretty good. So I'm excited about that coming up.
Yeah, so I'll send out an email first thing tomorrow to give you some additional information, specific rules, guidelines, and how to submit your logo design.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Luck. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So we're now at the Q&A portion of the agenda, and I think we've got
got a couple to start with. Ron, who do we have?
We're going to have Carl at first.
Carl. Come on, Carl. Smooth security, man. Mike said smooth security. I've never heard that. So is that like a new branding thing for you?
Yeah, well, or the man with the plan, right?
All right. You're right. You're right. You had the plan, and so that's how it went down. Very good. Now, I want you to guess the question. No. Ron, what's the question?
You bet. So, Carl, this question comes from right here in local Oakland, so addressing the audience. Last October, the security office deployed a phishing test, and many employees clicked on the link and failed the test. What are your plans for phishing training and testing in 2018?
So thanks for that. Thanks for that great question. We have purchased a new tool this year with some of that BCP funding that I talked about that will let us go out and phish the organization in a targeted way. And I just want to say I've got a fantastic team, a great team in cybersecurity, and all the hard work that we do. Sometimes it feels like a stretch goal to get to some of these more exciting and interesting things like phishing all the employees, because there's such a huge lift when you're talking about 20,000. But based on the numbers last year, we had 20% failure rate for clicking, and then half of those people went on to give me your password and log on. So I like to say we have very friendly people at Caltrans. I just ask you for your password and you give it to me, 1 in 10.
We want to be helpful.
Yep. So we're gonna go back out again with a formal training program, and appreciate the question, and look to your inbox soon, and be careful what you click on.
Yeah. Well, the other always good advice. The other thing to remember, though, I mean, not all of that education has to come out of the security office. I think here in D4 they're doing some local training, so that's always a great idea. You can augment, right, what we see out of Carl's shop with some local training. All that education is always good. And should they be reaching out to you in that case?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let's be sure we coordinate, and let's be careful. We have some mandatory requirements that everyone takes cybersecurity awareness training. We got really close to 100%. We got over 95% last year. We just don't want folks getting confused if they feel like they took some training that maybe you developed and didn't take the formal training, and our stats are off because of that. So let's work together, absolutely. Let's partner, and like I say, advocacy for cybersecurity should be a part of all our jobs in IT.
And by all means, we want to encourage that innovation, because I think there's some very innovative techniques that happen in D4 for the training, and some very creative ways, and we can share that across the state.
Absolutely.
Some great ideas came out of here. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
All right, Ron.
Great. The next question is from Mike.
Mike, a.k.a. Twin. Who's Batman? Who's Robin? All right.
Well, hello again.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going
nice
great.
Outfit.
Yeah.
Mike, this question comes from District 7. When will SCCM be implemented?
Can I phone a friend?
Oh, yeah. You going to call somebody? All right, man.
Actually, it's going to be implemented within the next 90 days. As we speak, we have made arrangement for experts from Microsoft and a local firm to come out to work with a team to start building the environment. So one of the barriers that we need to overcome right now is that we're retrofitting the District 3 TMC computer room, and we ran into some challenges with power. So that's being addressed right now. So we just need additional 60 amp power to basically hook up all of our server enclosures and storage arrays before the environment could be built. So that's just holding us back. But the short answer is within the next 90 days, that environment is going to be stood up. And I know that there are a lot of representatives from the districts that are either have been trained or being sent to training in SCCM so that we can make the most out of it.
All right, Mike, just to be sure everybody at home knows what SCCM does.
Okay,
Just real quick.
SCCM stands for System Center Configuration Management. That is a Microsoft product-centric. Okay. It works only for Microsoft Windows platform, right? So that's what we're there for. And again, we got over 1,500 servers and over 20,000 desktops. Yep. All of our desktops are on Windows platform. So SCCM will basically help us patch and deploy software applications, rule-based, policy-based, to get those things out to the workstations. patch management and things like that. But we also have secure licenses to help Fred and his team deal with Windows Server patch management, security patch management.
Very good. Thank you. Was that the only question, Ron, or do we have
That
a
was the
second?
only question for Mike, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Who's the next victim? No.
We have our new executive, Luck. You're up.
All right, Luck.
Oh, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I like it. Vegas, baby.
We have two questions for you, Luck. They come from District 12 and District 7.
Okay.
So the first one is, can you provide me with the status of the compaction issue and the IT reclassification created for Information Technology Supervisor 1s?
So we've been working really closely with Caltrans Division of Human Resources as well as CalHR. And CalHR recognizes the compaction issue. And right now, they're allowing us time to really develop a remediation plan, so that compaction assessment is still ongoing. So.
Great. And the second question is, when will lynda.com training be available again?
Procurement, oh, go ahead.
I have a little information on that.
Okay.
I just heard this. The department is going for an enterprise-wide lynda.com license. So in the past, IT has picked up lynda.com for $600, but we're looking to pick up lynda.com for $19,000. So it's a huge license. And I want to say they got it at a really good deal, somewhere under $10 a person. So everybody's going to have lynda.com. You know, it's online CBT. It's 24/7. And so I think that was a great benefit. And I want to give credit. I think it was DHR who negotiated that very aggressive pricing. I think they did make year-end procurement, but early next year, I'm hoping that they're going to have the lynda.com license for everybody. So I'm very excited about that. All right. Thank you, Luck. Appreciate it. I think that's all. We did receive some other questions, but I know so we're out of time. And everybody who submitted a question certainly will get a response from myself or one of the division chiefs. And I want to say there was a really good one in there about use of social media and digitization. And so that one was particularly interesting to me. But the next question I have, maybe the final question, is where's the next IT quarterly all-staff meeting? What do you guys think? I'm going to show you a picture. Eureka? It kind of looks like Eureka, right? It's not very busy, but McDonald's is the hint. Look at that, 15 cents a burger. Oh, man. Those are good days.
Southern California.
It is Southern California. That's right. Any other guesses around that?
The original McDonald's in LA.
Yeah, San Bernardino. That's right. D8 San Bernardino. So we're looking to get down there for our next quarterly all-staff meeting. I hope you're able to tune in, and I hope you had a good time, a very informative time in this session as well. So thank you very much, and thank you for the great folks in D4 for hosting. And as always, Ed, James, you guys do a fantastic job hosting this. You make anybody look good. So thank you for that.